What's up, my friends, followers of the Grail of the Serpent? This is your favorite sorcerer, Aurelius Sopax. And in this video, I want to talk a little bit about how to actually help your friends. I will talk very little about magic here, or maybe a little bit, but just watch this. You'll see where I'm headed. Today I had a conversation with an ally of mine, okay? Now, in my world, I have different categories for different people, depending on how important they are to my life and to what extent they actually improve and help my survival. To me, this makes the most sense. I got strangers, I got enemies, I got friends, and then I got allies, And out of all of that, the allies are the most important ones. Why? Because they actually add to my survival. They make me live better. They improve my quality of life, and they provide value in some way or another. Friends are people that I'm associated with, that I might be talking to here and there. Strangers are people that I have zero contact with. And then I have enemies. Definition of an enemy is somebody that is trying to take away from my stuff or is trying to sabotage me. Okay? So that's basically how I structure people in my world. So allies are the most important ones, like I said, right? And I have a vested interest in helping that person because that then is going to come back in some way or another too, right? Now, I'm not saying you just should only help people that, selfishly you will get something back from. No, I definitely help a lot of people without expecting something back from them ever, okay? A lot of people, okay? But my point is, this person had a problem, man. He was stuck. He was stuck in his own mind. He was stuck in his own emotions, a certain emotion that he was stuck in. He couldn't get himself out of it, And he was really confused about where to progress. Okay. Now, most people might have shown, maybe compassion for you and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with compassion, right? But here's how I think, okay? When you acknowledge something within a person, you are strengthening that part in them, okay? If you reaffirm that they're a victim, they're going to feel even more like a victim, and therefore they're going to behave more like a victim. So the way I deal with people is I only acknowledge the strength in them. If I want them to become strong, if I want them to actually do better, I only acknowledge how strong they are and how well they are dealing with the situation. To remind that part within them, to make that resonate. You see, when I communicate with that person, I'm making something resonate within them. Yeah? Something within them has to resonate to my power being sent over to them. And that then will activate and hopefully help them get out of that. But the problem is, in today's world, everybody's just acting like a victim everywhere, okay? And everybody acknowledges everybody's victimhood. Now, that's a bad way to live life because you're now fucking each other up, unknowingly that you're doing that, okay? So that's my first tip. If you actually want to help somebody, acknowledge that they're strong enough to overcome anything, and this will be actual help, okay? This will be actual help. Now, this has nothing to do with not being compassionate. I know life is hard, man. Life is tough. It can be hard, absolutely. But it's not going to get easier by mentally weakening yourself. So you have to strengthen the other person. You have to strengthen yourself as well, okay? So now, of course, also how you talk to yourself plays a role in that as well. But let's get back to that ally of mine that I was talking to. And like I said, he described his situation to me, how he felt, how he was lost all over the place, and here's what I told him, and I wanted to share this with you too, because I believe a lot of people can benefit from this as well, okay? Now, I'm a magician, I'm a magician, I'm an occultist, I'm a spiritual person, not in a sense that spirituality is separate from the rest of my life. My way of looking at the universe is first and foremost spiritual. And as such, I use that weapon, so to speak, or that lens to solve all problems. That's the first thing that comes to mind, you see. And the good thing is that magic can solve any problem, right? Because everything begins in the spiritual realm. Everything begins spiritually. Now, what is spiritual? What is your definition of spiritual? Well, anything that is not physical is spiritual. So thoughts, ideas, and stuff like that are spiritual too. It's not just angels and stuff like that, right? So I told them this: everything comes out of the invisible. Okay? And what you're resonating with right now, you're in touch with, you're communicating with that energetically already. You're in touch with it. It's like two tuning forks. One tuning fork is your emotions and how you process the world, your inner world essentially. Okay? And the other tuning fork is your future. Okay? You're currently in touch with a future probability, a possibility that will come into your life. What you're experiencing right now is your physical surroundings, your physical world you have created in some way or another. Your physical condition has been created by you through past emotions and experiences. Now, I know this is hard to take responsibility for, and I'm not telling you to do anything, okay? You do whatever you think is right for you, but I'm giving you universal principles laid out here. Okay, this is ancient knowledge, ancient wisdom, thousands of years old, has stood the test of time. Now, I understand that in the beginning, this is very hard to take responsibility for. And for me, it's still, after so many years, it's a daily reminder, okay? Because it is so easy from the perspective of the human body to just put the power out there, to blame things, to blame people, to blame circumstances. And I'm working on that still every day, to claim responsibility for what I attract. Okay? Now, a lot of people, I get it, they're going to start arguing about it, and they're going to, like, I don't know, maybe comment below this video and be like, oh, how could this person take responsibility for what happened there? I'm not going to go into the details. I'm just talking to the people who actually want to get better. And when you apply this, you have a very high chance of getting better. I'm not here to argue. Whoever wants to take this knowledge, good for you. If not, hey, I'm not going to force anyone to do anything. Okay, so here's the thing. Through your internal processing of things, you're attracting a new future. So how are you processing the current moment, right? And look, let's be honest. Sometimes, yeah, we're responding to the physical stuff around us, right? And it would be weird if you started processing a tree different from a tree. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. But see, when you're communicating with people, when you're moving through the world, you have a filter, an internal filter, and that filter is determined by the frequency that you want. Okay. So the things that are in the center of your attention, and once again, I'm not talking about physical objects, but I'm talking about a specific feeling about life, a specific, outlook on things. That is your filter, and that filter is determined by a certain frequency that you're resonating with, okay? And that frequency is that future possibility that you're tuning into. The way you interpret things now will lead to certain actions, and those certain actions will then lead to specific outcomes. It's almost as if you're tuning into this future blueprint, which is a little bit vague, but is more like a feeling, a frequency. And from that, all kinds of micro decisions will be taken correctly that will lead you on the path to reach that final destination of that future. Now, how do you control that then? See, you need to start creating the experiences. You need to create the visions. You need to create what it is that you actually want. And that is what I told my friend. You need to resonate. You need to start resonating with the frequency that you want. And sometimes that's hard. Sometimes that's easier. I get it. But it starts with honing the skill of your imagination. That is the key. You need to learn to control your imagination. And then you will begin to react to your imagination. and your interpretation of reality. You can reinterpret reality. And then you maintain that frequency over days, weeks, months, years. And I tell you what, as you then go through life and study the right stuff, talk to different people, communicate with people, and do actions, the right ideas are going to come to you. See, the pieces of the puzzle are going to fill themselves in. If you create a blueprint in terms of this frequency that you hold on to, and you just live your life, study, work, communicate, the pieces of the puzzle to make this a physical reality are just going to come to you. You see? And this is really the message that I'm trying to convey here. You are responsible. Nobody else can do that for you, you see? You are creating your destiny. You're creating your destiny every day. You cannot outsource that. Nobody else can create your blissful life for you. Nobody else is going to create your destiny for you. It is you that is creating that through the frequency that you're on, you see? So it's been always my message to empower you guys. It was always like, guys, the power is within you. Understand that. Don't try to give it away to spirits and so on and so forth. You can work with these things, but never forget that you are doing this. So this is what I told him, and something changed within him, and I know he's going to get better now, and he's going to do well. So it's the same message for you. You can't control your destiny. You're strong enough to handle anything in your life. No matter what the circumstances, you are strong enough to land on your feet and make it happen. I'll talk to you soon.